They were not born extraordinary. They were not raised with power, money, or influence. They were not chosen by fate or crowned by destiny. They were just two brothers, two ordinary men, living ordinary lives in a small town called Dayton, Ohio. And yet, those two men would do what the entire world believed could never be done. They would give humanity wings. Before airplanes filled the sky, before airports, before flight became normal, the idea of a human flying was considered madness. For centuries, people had tried. Some built wings of wood and cloth. Some strapped themselves to machines powered by hope more than science. Almost all of them failed. Many died. The world learned from those failures and reached a conclusion. Humans were not meant to fly. Scientists declared it impossible. Newspapers mocked the idea. Universities taught that human flight was a fantasy, nothing more than a dream for poets and fools. And then, quietly, without noise or attention, two brothers decided they did not agree. Wilbur and Orville Wright were not geniuses in the traditional sense. Neither of them completed a college degree. They did not come from wealthy families or powerful backgrounds. Their father was a bishop. Their mother was intelligent and practical. Their home was filled with books, curiosity, and discipline, but not luxury, like millions of others. They were expected to live simple lives and accept simple futures. But something small happened when they were children. Something that changed everything. Their father brought home a small toy helicopter, powered by a rubber band. It was fragile, it was simple, but when it lifted into the air, even for a moment, it planted a powerful question in their minds. If this can fly, why can't we? That question stayed with them. It grew with them. It followed them into adulthood. Life did not pause for dreams. Money was tight, responsibilities came early. Instead of chasing big ambitions, they opened a bicycle shop. They repaired bicycles. They sold bicycles. They adjusted chains, balanced wheels, fixed frames. To the outside world, they were just mechanics. But quietly, without applause or recognition, they were learning the foundations of flight. Balance, control, motion, stability, precision. While others spent their free time relaxing, they studied. While others accepted the limits of what was known, they questioned it. They read every book they could find about flight. They studied every failed experiment. They analyzed every crash, every mistake, every life lost in the pursuit of the sky. And instead of being discouraged, they became obsessed. Most inventors of their time believed that flight required powerful engines, bigger engines, stronger engines, faster engines. The Wright brothers believed something different. They believed flight was not about power first. It was about control. They watched birds for hours, sometimes days. They noticed that birds didn't flap wildly to stay in the air. They twisted their wings. They adjusted their balance. They controlled their motion. Flight, they realized, was not about force. It was about understanding. When the scientific data available to them proved inaccurate, they didn't complain. They didn't quit. They built their own wind tunnel. Think about that for a moment. Two bicycle mechanics in a small workshop, building scientific equipment because the world's knowledge was not good enough for their dream. They tested hundreds of wing shapes. They measured lift and drag themselves. They discovered that respected scientists had made critical errors. Slowly, methodically, patiently, they corrected them. Progress did not come easily. Gliders crashed. Wings snapped. Calculations failed. Months of work were destroyed in seconds. Their bodies were bruised. Their minds were exhausted. Their isolation was complete, but they did not stop. Because every failure taught them something. Every crash was information. Every mistake brought them closer. Most people quit when results don't come quickly. The Wright brothers stayed when results came painfully slow. Then they faced another problem. No engine on Earth was light enough and strong enough for powered flight. So they built one. No sponsors, no investors, no factory. Just creativity, discipline, and belief. In 1903, they traveled to a remote, windy place called Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. The wind was strong. The sand was soft. The isolation was complete. No crowds, no distractions, no excuses. The conditions were harsh. The air was cold. The machine was fragile. And the risk was real. If it failed, they could die. But quitting was never part of the plan. On December 17th, 1903, the world changed quietly. The aircraft known as the Flyer was placed on a wooden rail. Wilbur steadied it. Orville lay on the wing. The engines started. The machine shook. And then, for the first time in human history, a powered, controlled airplane lifted off the ground. 12 seconds. 120 feet. That was all it took. No applause. No headlines. No celebration. Just a moment where gravity lost. They flew again that day. And again. Each time longer. Each time stronger. The impossible was no longer impossible. But the hardest part came next. When they told the world what they had done, the world did not believe them. Newspapers doubted their claims. Scientists dismissed them. Governments ignored them. Some even accused them of lying. Imagine achieving what humanity had failed to do for centuries, only to be laughed at. But the Wright brothers did not argue. They did not beg for validation. They did not chase attention. They kept working. They refined their designs. They perfected control. They protected their ideas. They continued to fly. Eventually, Europe recognized them before America did. Only then did the world finally look up and realize that the sky had changed forever. Because of two ordinary men, distance collapsed. Time shrank. Nations connected. Travel transformed. Humanity expanded beyond borders. All because someone refused to accept the word impossible. The Wright brothers were not special when they began. They became special because they refused to stop. They were not fearless. They were committed. They were not lucky. They were prepared. Their story teaches a timeless truth. You don't need permission to dream. You don't need credentials to believe. You don't need approval to begin. You need courage to fail when others quit. You need discipline to study when others sleep. You need patience to build when others mock. If you feel ordinary today, remember this. So were they. If you feel ignored, remember this. So were they. If your dream feels impossible, remember this flight once did too. Every great breakthrough begins as a foolish idea in the mind of someone brave enough to try. Dreams don't fly on their own. They need builders. So build. Persist. Believe. Because somewhere right now, an ordinary person is about to do something extraordinary. Why not let that person be you? If this story inspired you, like this video, share it with someone who needs belief. Today, subscribe for more stories that turn ordinary people into legends. And remember this forever. The sky is not the limit. It's just the beginning.